This is reflective. Please say 3 times together. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good evening to everyone. As every day, before we start the meditation, I would like to do the same wish for all of you. May this meditation too be helpful for all of you to develop at least little bit in peace and happiness. So all the other material things we have to understand. So they give us happiness, but that happiness is always temporary. But the happiness that we gain by this spirituality, it stays for a long period of time. But what needs the most is your dedication. So you have to work hard, right? This is just like the other things too, right? So nothing comes out of nowhere. So miracles will happen. So changes will happen that you would say, so that you would call yourself as miracles, but they happen not because of something out of nowhere. It happens because of your own dedication, right? So that's why I always say that the teacher only can do 25%. The student has 75% of practice to do. That's how you can improve in the practice, right? In this path. So everyone, diligently, please determine to practice ardently, right? So for your own betterment. Now we are practicing Vipassana meditation. I hope now all of you feel the sensations well. So sometimes you ignore sensations like the touch of the air, right? It is also a sensation. Sometimes the sweating sensation. So you think sweating is not a sensation. It is also a sensation. And there are such kind of sensations so that you ignore, but understand they are also sensations too. If you don't feel the other kinds of sensations, so please focus on these kinds of sensations too, right? So other than that, the major sensations are coldness, heat, then hardness, softness, numbness, itching sensation, then pulsing sensation, then crinkling sensation, such kind of sensations. So whatever sensations that you encounter, you have to understand all those sensations have the same characteristic. What is that? Impermanence and change. And that understanding, it is better to apply it into your body and mind too. Occasionally look at your whole physical body. So, and see the things that appear to you. And try to see the truths that you cannot see with your naked eyes. So, with the understanding that you develop. So, understanding, that means the experiential wisdom that you develop about the impermanence. So, when you observe your body, you see this body here, right? You think this body here stays with you forever. But the truth is, unknown to us, they are falling one by one, each and every moment. So then by that way, try to realize yourself, this is an actual situation which is existing on inside my body and mind. Right? So not only that, even though we cannot see, so our skin, so it is becoming the dust. So each and every moment. So with the telescope, if we check this very body, the old skin, so it is it is falling so to the ground continuously as the dust, right? So at inside your own home, a certain percentage of the dust is the parts which have fallen from your own body. But we don't realize these things. Instead, what we think is, so there is an eternal being here, which is called I. Because of this wrong understanding, what we do is we develop this notion of permanence, right? We think I am permanent, and the things which are around me, they are also permanent. Then you develop attachment, thinking these are my things, these are my people, and then so you try to control them as you want them to be. But not only inside things, even the outside things, they don't last for it. When they change, they only leave you suffering only. But whenever you start to apply this experiential wisdom about impermanence, so in your daily life, so on your own body and mind, and the outside things, so you gain the ability to manage. You gain the ability to manage the situations of departure. So sometimes you have to face things or people decaying. And that means going away from your life, right? For an example, you have a chair that you liked a lot, right? But after 10 years, that very chair you have to throw it, right? But so at that time, because of the memories and attachment that you have towards that chair, so you feel sad. This is a simple example. But this won't happen. This won't happen if you understood. So if you apply the experiential wisdom that you gain about impermanence in your daily life too, right? So therefore, please apply it in your daily life. Sometimes, so they teach us. They teach us according to their own ways, so that they are impermanent, right? For an example, uh, so if you take this hair, so we do a lot of things to our hair, right? So we like the head hair, so the hair on our head, and we do various kinds of styles, and we comb it in various ways, right? But sometimes, let's suppose during night time. So uh, this is one story that I heard from one great Dhamma teacher. So so let's say uh, at night, husband sees uh, the wife's hair well combed, and so I mean beautifully combed. At that time, the husband says, "Oh, how beautiful your hair is! So nice. It is just like the uh, the the feathers of the peacock. The feathers of the peacock." On the following morning, both of them sit for the morning breakfast, and husband is very hungry, and he's rushing to go to work, and he comes to the dining table. And when he is about to eat, he see one of that beautiful hair that he saw at night on the rice bowl that he was about to eat. Then what happens is he gets very angry. He starts to shout, "Oh, wife, don't you know how to cook cleanly? What is this? So you have put your hair on the rice. How can I eat this?" Right? Then the uh, so wife has a very good answer to say. So rice is so good, and then my beautiful hair has fallen to your rice bowl, because you told me that the hair is so beautiful yesterday. Now it has become too good, so it is a too good thing for you to eat. But actually, the thing is, we have to understand, at such moments, you understand. So if you are a good vipassana meditator, you understand the nature of this actual life, right? All those things that you consider as beautiful or my things, you call them so until you are at uh, until they are at the grasp of your control, at the area of your control, right? Whenever they depart from your own body, so they show you the reality of their nature, right? So we have to understand this. Then so because of your outer appearance, you have to determine, I will not discriminate um, uh, anyone because of my appearance, right? Because of my abilities, I will not discriminate anybody, right? Instead, I will try my best to treat everyone equally, with loving kindness, with compassion, with sympathetic joy, and with equanimity. So like that, we have to think. So and for that purpose, we have to apply whatever the experiential wisdom that we gain in meditation in our day-to-day life, especially this experiential wisdom about impermanence, right? With that, with that thought, we are going to start today's meditation, right? Yes. So, so dear all students, please keep on observing sensations as I instructed you earlier. So you will start observing the sensations. Right. Thank you. So please start observing the sensations from the top of your head, right? So then after that, please observe this whole head area, right? So Mr. Kevin and Ms. Jane, both of you can observe the face area too. So starting from today, I think you remember, right? So so the other all students, so please observe the head area first, part by part, pitch by pitch. In all those areas, whatever the sensations that you encounter, so observe them and understand the nature of the sensation is impermanent, change. Then after that, please observe this whole face area part by part. Start with your forehead, then eyebrows separately, nose, then so both eyes separately, then after that upper lip, lower lip, then right chin, left, so right cheek, left cheek, then your chin. So accordingly, please observe the whole face area part by part. Then after that, please observe your neck area. So front area and back area separately. And then observe the sensations from your shoulder to the tips of your fingers, part by part, pitch by pitch. And then your right hand from your right shoulder to the tips of your fingers, part by part, pitch by pitch. Whatever the sensations that you encounter, please remind yourself. They are impermanent, change. The new students, they are kindly requested to practice breathing meditation. So you are kindly requested to observe the normal natural breath which is coming in and going out. So don't go with the breath all the way in. Please observe the breath up to the end of your nostrils. End of your nostrils. So it will come smoothly, and observe the breath until it touch the end of your nostrils. After that, let it go inside. Wait patiently until it comes back. When it will come back, then it will touch, start your observation when it starts to touch the end of your nostril. And when it is going out, stay being aware that right now my breath, it is going out. If it is long, please be aware that it is long. If it is short, please be aware that it is short. If it is gross, if it is soft, so please be aware accordingly. Whatever the breath it is, please welcome. Don't discriminate. So you are here to change your habitual pattern of the mind. What is the habitual pattern of the mind? Whenever so you feel something comfortable, so you attach to it. Then whenever there is something uncomfortable, you start to push it. Instead, here what you are doing is, so you welcome everything as they actually are, even the breath. So you welcome all the breathings all the breath as they actually are. So, and without discriminating and developing the balancedness of our mind, balancedness of our mind, right? So, very ardently, please keep on practicing, and by that way, please try to develop simultaneously inner calmness and inner peace too, right? So, with that determination, we are going to start. Everyone, please keep your right palm on your left palm. Please keep your back straight, neck straight, head straight. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Take another deep breath. Let it go. Please take another deep breath. Let it go. Now, please let your whole body and mind to calm down. Calm down. First, I'm going to pay respect and gratitude towards Buddha, and after that, we are going to start our silent meditation time. Please concentrate. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Itimiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vinyacharane sampanno sugato lokamido anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manussanam buddho bhagavati swakato bhagavata dhammo Sangdittiko akaliko ehi pasiko opanayiko pachatang veditabbo vinyuhite supanipanno bhagavato savata sangho ujupanipanno bhagavato savata sangho Nyaya patipanno bhagavato savata sangho Sami padipanno bhagavato savata sangho Yadidang chattari purisa yugani Ate purisa puggala Ese bhagavato savata sangho Ahuniyo pahuniyo Nakineyo Angelikareneyo Anutterang Punyakitang Lokasati Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. With a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with an alert, very attentive mind, with a balanced, very equanimous, patient mind. Everyone, please start your meditation. If you are practicing Vipassana meditation, please keep on practicing Vipassana meditation. If you are a newcomer, please practice breathing meditation as instructed. Whatever the meditation technique that you are practicing right now, I sincerely wish that may you be very, very successful. Very, very successful. Everyone, please start your meditation or practice diligently. You are bound to be successful. So please start your meditation right now. Now, everyone If your legs are paining, you can relax your legs. We are going to practice loving kindness meditation in brief right now. Please keep your eyes closed. Now, first let's share our loving kindness with ourselves, with you. Please think, may I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards you first. Now, please spread your loving kindness towards your dear mother, towards your dear father, towards your dear teachers, relatives, and friends. Me, my dear mother, me, my dear father, me, my dear teachers, relatives, and friends. Be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards them. Now, please spread your loving kindness towards the people in the middle, the neutral people. May all the neutral people, those people who are not your friends, who are not your enemies, the people in the middle, may all those neutral people also be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards the neutral people. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards our enemies. First, please forgive for the mistakes that they have done to hurt you. Then please ask forgiveness for your mistakes that you did to hurt them. After that, please spread your sincere loving kindness towards the enemies. May my enemies also be well. May my enemies also be happy. May my enemies also be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards the enemies. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards all the beings in the world. Let's think about human beings. Let's think about animals. Let's think about birds, fish, reptiles, visible and invisible, all the beings. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards all the beings in the world. All the beings in the world. Bhavattu sabbe mangalam rakhantu sabbe devata samme buddhanubhavine samme dhammanubhavine samme sanghanubhavine sada sutti bhavantuti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Everyone, very calmly, please open your eyes. Let your whole body to relax from top to bottom and bottom to top. Now please join your palms together and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Dear dumb friends, hope all of you had a very good silent meditation session. So ardently, please keep on practicing. So for the betterment of yourself and for the betterment of the others too. First, you are the one who reap the harvest, and then you are going to share it with the other people too. So be that farmer, so who crop a very good harvest, and finally who share with the others the same the crop the harvest that you get the good harvest that you get out of it, right? So then please keep practicing like that. Today we have discussed about the second portion, second step of the Eight Noble Path. So I think all of you can remember now. First, we discuss about the 3 characteristics of life, right? What are 3 characteristics of life, Mr. Bhanu? Number 1. No, that's number 2. Shivana? Impermanence. Suffering. Mr. Tim?
Suffering and no self.
Very nice. Good job. And then after that, we talked about the 4, Mr. Kevin?
4 noble truths.
Yes, 4 noble truths. And after that, last week, we started discussing about the 8 noble path, the 4th noble truth in details. Saurya, can you remember the first step? Right. No.
The 4th noble truth.
8 noble path. First one, right understanding. Very nice. That's what we were discussing last week. So for today's topic, it will take a little time. That's why I wanted to save the whole time for this. If not, I give you some advice. Normally, for you to adjust so with your meditation. So that's why I don't give it today, and because I want to preserve time for this topic, because this is very important. So right understanding so when you develop it with your experiential wisdom, I talked about this at the beginning too. There are 3 kinds of wisdoms, so you learned about them. Number 1, wisdom of hearsay. So when a teacher teaches, or when you read a book, right? So you gain the hearsay wisdom. Then after that, no, not yet. Then hearsay wisdom, you convert it into second wisdom. No. Intellectual wisdom, very nice, Mr. Tim. Then intellectual wisdom, you convert it into, now all of you know, experiential wisdom. No, there is no time to describe about all that. So so in brief, just understand that there are these kinds of, so there are three kinds of wisdoms, and they are called as the wisdom of hearsay, intellectual wisdom, and experiential wisdom. So when through meditation, not only you heard about impermanence, so deeply understood about impermanence, now through practice, you realize, you experience yourself what actually this impermanence is. And then you see deeply how actually this suffering stays there, and how universal this suffering for all, how universal this suffering is for all the beings in the world. And then you start to see yourself, the no self nature within. So no eternal self, no eternal I. You now so with your practice, it becomes one of your own understanding. Not only an understanding of the Buddha anymore. Not only it's an understanding which belongs to great teachers. Now it is your understanding too. It comes from within. It comes within with your own understanding. Now it is crystal clear for you that this is true. Then when this right understanding happens inside, then and there, the second step begins. What is the second step? Right concept. Samma Sankappa. Sankappa means Sankalpana, or so Sankalpana means, or Sankappa means concept. So, um, so certain kind of foundations that we build inside the mind. So we live our life based on these foundations. So they are called as concepts. If we don't have concepts, we cannot have a stable mind. All of we have concepts. If we don't have these right concepts, then we are bound to get swayed by the tendencies that we predominantly have. According to Buddha, there are three kinds of beings in the world. So when you categorize all the beings according to their tendency, there are three kinds of individuals. The vast majority have the tendency to tendency to enjoy sensual pleasure. That is the nature of the vast majority of human beings. Not only human beings, animals too, but here Buddha mainly describes about the human beings. So when you take all the human beings in the world, and if you categorize them, if you want, you can write. So according to their tendencies, there are three kinds of individuals. First category is the kinds of individuals who have the tendency, so predominant tendency towards sensual pleasure. Throughout their life, if you measure the thoughts that they had throughout their life, 99% of thoughts belong that they produce inside them, inside their mind, belong to this category. They always thought about sensual pleasure, sensual pleasure, sensual pleasure. right? Uh, so sensual pleasure means, so when Pantes and nuns so talk about sensual pleasure to the lay people, they only think about one kind of sensual pleasure. No, so don't think like that. This is a big area. So there are. I already told you about the five senses, right? Eye, so nose, ears, right? Then tongue, body. So for all these things, so to entertain them, uh, people have so this tendency, right? So then so certain people will like the things that they can see, right? So there are subcategories too, right? Certain people will like to see beautiful scenes. That may be their there is the thing which brings them the utmost happiness. There are certain people who like to hear sounds, so it brings them utmost happiness. So I'm just giving you a small description about these subcategories. Certain people don't like such kind of things, so they like good smells, right? So good odors, right? So certain people run after food. They don't like all the other three. So they may like the other, so they like the other three things too, but predominantly there is another subcategory who like the food excessively. So this is the fourth one. And then physical contact. So there are such so various other people who who are happy because of the who become happy excessively because of the physical contact. This is the fifth subcategory of the major category of the people who have the tendency, so predominant tendency towards sensual pleasure. And then there's a second group. They are not um, that much visible, but they are there too. So the individuals who have the tendency towards aversion, they have extreme amount. So if you measure their whole life, throughout their life, so they develop more thoughts related to aversion. Let it be fear, jealousy, anger, hatred, so discrimination, such kind of thoughts. But they are a minority, right? They are a minority. Then so there is another minority. This minority is the individuals who have the tendency to harm the others. So they enjoy by harming the other people. They are a slight majority. So sorry, small group, right? It's a minor group, but they are there too. I think all of you have heard of serial killers, right? So they do it because they have this tendency, right? They enjoy by seeing the suffering of others, but they are a minority. So some people don't go up to that level, but so they make the other people suffer too in various kinds of other ways, right? So there are these three kinds of groups in the world. If we don't have right concepts, we'll be swayed by these tendencies, right? And we don't know where we'll end at the end. So all beings have to have the right concepts in their life. How do the right concepts come? Through the right understanding. Now, when you experientially see the nature of things as they actually are, impermanence, so nature of changing in things as they actually are, the suffering in things and beings as they actually are, and the no self nature of beings as it is. So when you see these things with your own deep meditation, your viewpoints, your thinking pattern changes, and you develop right concept, right? And then, right concepts, then they become the driving force in your life, right? The right concepts that you have, they become the driving force in your life. Those right concepts help you to divert yourself from the unnecessary, uh, so stop you from doing unnecessary things which waste your time. And then so they encourage you to do things which are fruitful, which are useful, and the actions that bring peace and happiness for your life. If you already have that, to develop it. So they help you and motivate you, right? So you keep on coming and practicing because you have that these concepts in your life, at least to a very small extent. It won't happen. So what is the nature of the other beings? Buddha, so those who don't have so right concepts, so in their life, Buddha describes with a smile. Buddha teaches, once they are, so let's suppose there is a soldier at a battleground. And during the battle, what happens is this soldier got hit by an arrow, a poisonous arrow. And then the soldier is injured. He was taken to the hospital. And then the doctor goes to the soldier to take that poisonous arrow out and cure this patient, this soldier. At that time, the soldier says, "Oh, doctor, please stop." Then the doctor who came to help him, suddenly he gets so bewildered. Why this patient stopped him? Then this soldier says, "Doctor, I can't let you treat me unless I know about these things." Then the doctor asks, what do you want to know? Please tell me right now because you are dying. So the poison has already gone inside. This is a poisonous arrow. So you have to be very careful and you have to be quick. Then he says, "Doctor, but can you please tell me the name of the person who shot me this arrow? And I also want to know what kind of a bow that he had. Was it a golden one? Was it a silver one? Or an iron one? And what kind of feathers did did he insert in this in this arrow. And at the same time, I want to know what is his caste, what is his town, and what is his leader, who is his leader, and who is his wife, who are his children. I want all those details. If not, if I don't get those details, I don't let you to take this arrow out. Then what will happen? So the soldier died. Similarly, so because such kind of details cannot be found, right? So so even though you find them, until then that person won't survive because it's a poisonous arrow. We are hit by various kinds of poisonous arrows. What are those poisonous arrows? Various kinds of negativities. So craving, poisonous arrow. You got hit by that. You are suffering throughout the day because of this craving. And anger, aversion. So anger, fear, jealousy, hatred, right? Frustration, discontentment. Oh, and vanity. There are various such kinds of poisonous arrows that you have got it. Uh, so, during an unknown period of your lifetime, and you are suffering. But the nature of the people who don't have the right concept, their nature is, instead of going after the ways to come out of these arrows, to get rid of these arrows, and to get healed, what they do is they run after all kinds of other things, temporary things that can divert their attention from the suffering that comes out because of these poisonous arrows. That's their nature. But when you develop right concept, it doesn't happen. Instead, you directly go to the treatment. You work hard and you take out your arrows little by little, and you get cured yourself. Right? That's what you are going to do. Then right concepts. There are three kinds of right concepts that you develop inside you, basically. So number one, in Pali, those days language, the Buddhist language, it is called as Nekkamma Sankappa. Nekkamma Sankappa. Nekkam means the right concept about renunciation from negativities, right? So when you develop the right understanding about the three characteristics of life and the Four Noble Truths, then you determine, so I have to renunciate, I have to let go of the negativities that I have. Thinking so, you develop that as a concept in your life. So that's one thing that you do. And so you realize, I have negativities in my life. I have craving, I have hatred, I have anger, I have jealousy, I have fear. So I have such kind of negativities. So you accept that. And then gradually, with the practice, you try your best to let go of them. What you do is, so if you are not doing, if you are not generous earlier, you start to become generous. You start to give. You start to donate. If you are not kind earlier, kind enough earlier, you try to be kind. And if you are not so nice enough earlier, you try to be nice, right? And then, so if you are used to do so various kinds of actions that hurt the others, you start to let those actions go. So you manage yourself not to do those things. So then thinking, so you develop this first right concept in your life. Right concept about so renunciation from all the negativities. Nikkamma sankalpa. That's number one. Right? Then at the same time, so you start to you try to realize more and more Dhamma. So deep thinking, and then with your so experiential, so practice of meditation, right? Then then number two, so you start to develop avyapad sankalpa. Avyapad sankalpa, again, those days language, the translation is the right concept about not getting angry. So you determine, whatever it happens, I will not get angry. So if everything is impermanent, if everything is changing, right? If there is nothing that I can call as I, because of things change, why should I get angry? Let me manage the situation with calmness. You start to think like that. And then by that way, you try to manage the situation without getting angry. Actually, this concept, so when you are practicing, it automatically comes in. So it automatically arises inside. So because of your practice, we are practicing properly, right? Then, so at the same time, you start to develop loving kindness towards the others. You start to develop so compassion towards the others. So this also happens inside you as a result of this right concept. Then third right concept that you develop inside is the right concept about not harming the others, whatever it happens. So when you develop the right understanding, so it leads to this third right concept. What is that right concept? So whatever it happens, you determine that I won't harm anybody. Not only I won't get angry, but also I won't harm anyone. Right? Then that person becomes a peaceful person. So due to this concept, right? Certain practitioners, they see the change, but they don't understand why they have changed. Why they have changed? Because knowingly or unknowingly, these concepts, these three kinds of concepts, have come and so sprung inside their mind, just like lotus flowers. And now their life is driven with these concepts. That's why they have changed, right? So, so then the third right concept is the right concept about not harming anyone, whatever it happens. So there are three kinds of right concepts that you develop because of right understanding. Number one, Shivanna, right? So renunciation of all the negativities. I will let go of all my negativities, right? You think like that. So number two, so Shaurya, number two, second concept. Not harming anybody. That's final one. Yes, Mr. Tim? Not getting angry. Very nice, Mr. Tim. Whatever it happens, you determine not to get angry. And number three, so whatever it happens, you determine not to harm anyone. So, so these three concepts, right concepts, gets deep rooted inside your mind because of the right understanding. So this happens as a result of right understanding. Right understanding is the one which leads to this right concept. Then, so right concept, then, when someone develops third one, then that not only that person stop harming the others, but also that person starts to become more pitiful about the other people. And then they start to help others voluntarily. You don't have to tell that person, oh, please do this or do that. That person runs and does it. And whenever you are asked to do, that person is asked to do that help, that person is so more than happy. That is the word that I should use. More than happy to do it. It comes with it. Why? Because they have, then we have to understand, because of the practice of this person has developed this third right concept. So inside this individual, that's why this person is thinking like that, right? So Mr. Tim came, nobody asked you to prepare all these things, so he did it, right? So like that, for an example. So I know all the meditators are like that, so for sure. So and some of you will come up to that point, and some of you are changing, but somehow you will develop these things, these concepts inside as a result of your own practice. But you have to understand, they won't arise automatically. They need your help. What help? Consistent practice, ardent. So for that, you need you have developed three kinds of courages. I always teach you. Courage to start, courage to continue, and the courage to continue until you reach the final goal. All these three kinds of courages are important. If not, these flowers will blossom and blossom and blossom to a certain level. But if you stop with the second courage, after some time, so it'll be there. It'll be there, right? Therefore, all these three kinds of courages are very important. So then, because of right understanding, you develop right concept with it. There arises the right concept. And because of the right concept, there arises the right speech. Now, you start to live the life on the top of right concepts. First thing which will be affected is your own words. In the next week, let's talk how your words change because of your right concepts, right? Then so you to understand. Samma sankam means the right concept. Right concept has three parts. Number one, first right concept is right concept to renounce, renunciation from all the negativities. The second right concept is the concept to not to get angry whatever it happens. And then the third concept is not to harm anyone whatever it happens. These three arises inside you as a result of your practice. And then it leads to three kinds of physical things and three kinds of mental things too. So in brief, let me tell you three kinds of physical things. So number one, but I won't keep the curiosity too. So somehow number one is right speech. Number two is right action, your actions, interactions that you do in your life, and your livelihood. So all those three things change. And then mentally, so three things change. Effort changes. Your effort, it changes. Then number two, your mindfulness, it changes. Number three, so your concentration, it also gets impacted, will get impacted because of this right concept. Right understanding and right concept belongs to the section called the section of wisdom. And then let's talk about how they how they impact the other sections gradually starting from the next week. I will teach you about right speech. In the upcoming week, right? Until then, so please go through the descriptions. I cannot give you a very long description. What the description that I gave you is a very small one. If you want, this is the era of internet. You can go to the internet and then you can look for articles and you can get a deeper knowledge. That is for the students who want some kind of a deeper knowledge about this, right? Somehow, so then please try to develop this right concept in your life too. Then now everyone please think together, all of us gathered here, and practice, please think that we practiced this noble non-sectarian meditation technique and accumulated a lot of positive energy. By the power of all the positive energy that we accumulated, may all our troubles be away. May all the good things happen in our lives. And may we be able to live our lives with beauty, mental and physical strength, mental and physical comfort, and wisdom. And practicing this noble, non-sectarian, pure Dhamma practices. This noble, non-sectarian meditation technique. May all of us attain real peace, real happiness, Nibbana. With those thoughts, everyone please join your palms together and concentrate. Everyone please concentrate. Abhivadana silisse niccang vaddha pachayino chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvang sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevati ato nibbana sampatti iminati samijjatu. May you all be well. May you all be happy. May you all be very, very peaceful and blessed. Sukhi hotu. Good night to everyone. See you in the next week. Until then, please take rest. May all the good happen to you. Sukhi. Right. Good night, Mr. Ward.
Good night, Bante. Thank you.
Good night.
All the good happen.
Good night,
Ms.
Bhante.
Rita.
Thank you. Good
Good
night.
night. Good night. Asmita Didi, good night.
Good night, Bante. Thank you for the session.
May all the good happen. Mrs. Jane, good night.
Good night, Banti. See you next Monday.
See you next Monday. Yes, me again. Rahul and Pragati, good night.
Thank you, Bante. Thank you so much.
So I am so sorry for missing your call. I will call you tomorrow, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Bante.
thank you so much, Bante. Talk to you then. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. And Mr. Ram Garu. So, Mr. Ram,
Yes, Bante.
good night.
Good night, Bante. Thank you so much for the session. It was very nice.
May all the good happen. Then, good night, Mrs. Blaze.
Thank you, Bante, for your generosity.
May all the good happen to you. So, Miss Shireen, good night.
Good night, Bante. Thank you for your teachings.
May all the good happen to you. Neha Devi, good night.
Good night, Bante. Thank you very much. Thank you.
May all the good happen. Good night. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Huat.